Color me a stereotype, but I'm not sure if this is the place to post, and if it's not, my bad. I live in the PNW and I have two dogs, a Basenji mix and a Shepherd mix. My Shepherd mix is older, and at this point is more of a rug than a dog, and her favorite thing is to find a place, lay there, and listen to whatever is happening in the world. My other dog, the Basenji mix rescue, wants nothing more than to be up on everyone and everywhere all the time. I've lived in the same town for about 5 years, but I've recently moved from an RV on a friend's property to a house of my own, which is rad. My spouse and I have checked out a lot of the walking trails around here, but there are so many that I wasn't surprised that when I moved to a new house 9 minutes away from where I was leaving before, there's a completely new set of trails. I haven't avoided these trails necessarily, but I did go from walking a trail 3 or 4 times a week to not walking at all. Mostly because I haven't had a house in about a decade, and getting it together became my full-time job for about 6 months, including painting, wainscoting, gallery walls, blah 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 blah, which is completely a trap of my own making. But now I have some gaps in my schedule and I want to get my dogs back out there. For some context in this story, I am currently taking medication for panic disorder and delusional bipolar. So I went and I checked out my local trail recently just by myself. It was in the middle of the day in the midst of August, and it was fine. It wasn't a particularly interesting trail compared to others in the area. There was a lot more people using it than I expected, and overall I was somewhat disappointed. Today I took my Basenji mix Jubilee out for a walk because she needs the exercise. My Shepherd mix Pinball was devastated, but sometimes I just don't have the energy to take them both. Walking along the trail was really nice. It felt good to get out of the house. It reinvested me into walking around and being in nature. The overcast, the wet leaves underfoot, that damp earth smell were all peak PNW life. I was even wearing a beanie, track shoes, and a puffy vest. There wasn't anybody on the trail, which was a surprise to me because it's pretty early. It was about 2:30 on a Friday, peak dog walking park time in our area. There are a lot of retirees in our town that are out and about at all hours with their pups. Today it was just me and Jubilee. I was planning on walking to the crossroad between the two trailheads because that is as far as I had gone in the past. We made it that far and I was feeling pretty good, and I felt kind of guilty looking at Jubilee while deciding to head home, because I was planning on gutting pumpkins so my spouse and I could carve them when they got home. On the way back she got really alert and pulley, but not barky. She's always been a barker and not really a puller, so this was weird. I assumed it was an animal. As I kept walking, a woman walked towards me with really unkempt big hair, white knuckling, and orange vest in her left hand. She looked like she had just stepped out of a 1993 Ralph Lauren autumn catalog. Her outfit wasn't particularly interesting for our area, but she stared all the way at me. I said hey, being polite, but she didn't say anything. She just kind of wide-eyed, tight-lipped grin kept on walking that she looked almost hungry. There is a sign at the beginning of our trailhead that says hunting from September 1st to December 31st. Trail users wear orange. I had assumed that the sign meant other hunters should wear orange while utilizing the trail, but now I'm not so sure. I didn't look back at her, and my dog didn't bark at her. We just kept walking towards the exit. I did feel compelled to look back as I was leaving the trailhead, and could swear that I saw her and 2 men looking at us as we left. I grilled myself wondering if I actually saw that lady in the first place and if I saw anyone as I was leaving, but the way Jubilee was acting, I think she definitely did. I need the exercise, and so do my dogs, so I'm going to go back to tomorrow with my Shepherd Pinball and see how it goes. Edit. Now both Jubilee and Pinball are barking at my back door, and it's every unnerving. I don't really think anything's going on, but it's low-key wigging me out.